go ahead and get started. I was going to mention if you have like a ball or even like a pillow or a towel, that's an optional piece of equipment that you could use for this workout. Okay, so let's start at the edge of our mat, or our booty in the middle, our feet out in front. I want you to wiggle up tall, really get up tall on those sits bones. And I want you to take a nice deep inhale in through your nose. Think about breathing really deep into your back. Arms are going to be out in front of us. And from here, we're going to take another deep inhale. And then we're going to exhale and scoop partway back. Really feeling pelvic floor, lower belly lifting, relaxing those hip flexors. Inhale and coming up nice and tall. Exhale. Good. So moving in, doing some little pelvic tilts here. Opening up our chest, starting to warm up our deep core. Starting to open up that lumbar spine. Relaxing those hip flexors. Inhale as you grow tall. Last two here. And lengthen, knees up mid-back. Last one. Good. From here, what I want you to do is you can either keep your knees bent or we can take them out straight. We're going to do a full roll back. Okay, so pick which feels best for you. Activate your glutes slightly and we're going to slowly roll back one vertebrae at a time, controlling with our core, taking our arms up and around and circle in. Okay, if you've got that pillow, towel, or ball, I want you to place it between your thighs. It's just a great way to work a little bit more inner thighs when we do this. Slide down, try it in the screen. Okay, so arms can either be at your side or out and open. Take a nice deep inhale here, exhale, little pelvic tilt. Start to articulate and roll up one vertebrae at a time, lightly squeezing that ball. So think about your feet. I want you to think about wiggling those toes. I want your feet pressing into your mat. And then exhale and soften your ribs as you slowly peel down one vertebrae at a time. And inhale, think about your breath going wide and all the way deep down into your pelvis. Exhale, pelvic tilt first. So we've only got the deep layers of our core working. And then when we go to lift our booty, that's when our glutes and hamstrings start to fire. We're gonna squeeze that ball and you should start to feel this good deep core activation right here. Really great for the pelvic floor. And then exhale as you soften and roll on down. You're massaging that spine. Exhale to roll on up. This time I'm gonna have you hold it up here, okay? So find that range where you can really just feel a good hamstring glute connection, no tension or stress into your lower back. And we're gonna lower the booty a little bit. We're gonna lift and squeeze the ball, working those inner thighs. Again, think about what's happening with your feet. I want your feet gripping into the mat a little bit. I want them working. Good, and think about initiating your move with your exhale. It's very important that we incorporate what our breath is doing. It can help your core become a lot stronger, a lot quicker. Good, exhale, lift. Let's go for 3 more. And 2. Here's our last one. Hold it here. Nice and slow. Articulate, rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Okay, so take the ball off to the side. Take our arms out to a T. I want you to inhale, let your legs fall to the left. Exhale. Again, using your breath to help you to wake up the deeper layers of our core to move. Just warming up our spine, getting our deep core to fire, relaxing our neck. Good, you're not using your legs much at all. Okay, here's your last one. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna have you stabilize your pelvis more neutral. We're gonna lift the right leg up. We're gonna bring our left hand back and we're gonna exhale, pull elbow and knee together. Inhale, extend and reach out. Exhale. Again, we wanna initiate that move with our exhale. Good, so we're feeling a lot of connection in that lower belly. Try to work through a range where your hip is not popping, which means you may have to go a little higher. That's okay. Okay, and if you're ready to follow me into flexion, do so. Just watch that we're not straining our neck. We're really working the deep layers of our core, stabilizing our spine still in neutral. Last 2. Last one here. And go ahead and lower on down. Switching sides. Bring that left leg up, right arm is back, and then we're gonna pull elbow and knee towards each other and then extend. Exhale. So we want to think about our exhale, lightly connecting from our pelvic floor all the way up. We're not drawing our belly to our spine. Our pelvis is nice and neutral here. Okay, last 2 with your head down, and then if you're ready to follow me into flexion, I want you to do that. Okay, so Flex on up as long as you're out of your neck. Think about your ribs pulling you up. Inhale, breathe wide to the side. Exhale and pull together. Last 3. Nice long diagonal pull through the body. Here's 2. Here's your last one. And then go ahead and lower down and release. Let's do a little hip roll here. I always like to do these to release our hip flexors. Take your heels about shoulder width apart and you're gonna bring your knees together, okay? So your range may not be as big when you do these. We're doing pelvic tilt here. Roll on up and you're squeezing your inner thighs together so you can get a little space at the lower back. And we're just gonna do little pulses here, okay? So our neck is relaxed. We're pressing in through our heels. We wanna feel a little opposition. You might even feel a little bit deeper connection in that lower belly when you do these. Let's go for 5 more. And 4. Here's 3, 2, and last one, nice and slow. Articulate, rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time. Okay, from here, let's roll on over to our stomach. Let's start to warm up our spine in the opposite direction now. So let's take our legs kind of like shoulder width apart, just nice wide reach. And I want you to think about reaching lightly through those toes. So I kind of tuck my toes under and reach through those quads, then reaching the toes. So I want you to have a light connection through your legs, through the quads. We don't want to ever land in our low back or dump into our low back, okay? So let's go for some swan preps here. Forward, hands by your side. So we're gonna just do a couple leg lifts here. So I want you to open up the chest, round those shoulders back. So you've got a little stability happening in your mid-back and lower belly. And then we're gonna reach those legs up and then control them down. And we're gonna start to lift up from our mid-back. And then inhale, control down and lift your legs. Exhale. Good. So we're not using our arms too much. We're really lifting from the back of the legs, lifting up that lower belly, wrapping those shoulders around without jamming anything. And think about growing taller through the top of your head. Lift the legs. And on up and lift. Good, if you want to continue on to something a little bit more advanced, you can follow me or continue doing this motion. And last thing I'll say is keeping your range of motion really small can be very effective on these. Okay, so if you want to do a little more advanced, we're going to lift the legs, we're going to come up, we're going to bring our arms out. Think like good teeter-totter positioning. Let's go for 3, 2, last one, and then go ahead and come on back. Release back into a child's pose. Okay, so think about sitting your hips up. Sometimes I like to do these with the booty up into the sky a little more, so you feel like we're spreading in the sits bones. Reaching those arms long, letting your head just completely relax down onto your mat. And then you're gonna exhale. Little pelvic tilt, rounding up. And then inhale and open back, feeling more spreading and opening between those sits bones and pelvic floor. Pelvic tilt here, connecting, rounding up. Starting to feel some deeper layers working here. Okay, and here's our last one. Okay, come on forward from here. We're gonna go into side planks. Okay, so I'm gonna start modified. I always recommend doing the modified first because we wanna make sure we're connecting in the right area. So I want you to just do a couple lift here. We're gonna lower. Feel what the shoulder's doing, ladies. I want you to wrap around that scapula here, feeling it coming around our ribs, and then stabilize and hold. Now, to add on to actually do the side lift, you're gonna activate the glutes a little bit, okay? We're gonna inhale to lower, exhale and lift. So you're feeling a lot of stability around the shoulder, around the ribs. We're also zipping up from the pelvic floor, lower belly, so we have support through our abdomen. Okay, so you can continue on for the last 5 here, modified, or you can follow me into the full. Squeeze those legs together. We're gonna lift for 5, control it down. Don't release at the bottom. Squeeze those legs together. Don't forget to use your legs. Here's 3, and 2. Last one, and release on down. Okay, we'll flip on over to the other side. And again, remember with all this, we should never feel tension or pain into our neck. We might feel a little stabilizing, but that's it. Okay, so we'll start here, wrapping around that shoulder. We can lower down a little, and then exhale, wrap the shoulder into the ribs. Inhale, lower down, exhale, lift. Notice how I put my hand there. I recommend you do that too. Tactile cueing is very helpful. Okay, so now that we're connected here, we're lifting this hip up, and we're gonna lower and lift. Keeping it nice and slow and controlled. Good, 3 more here. Zipping up, pelvic floor, lower belly. Okay, so we're not into our back. We're not tucking our booty. Okay, so either continue on with these or you're gonna follow me into the full. Extending those legs out. Squeeze those legs together if you're doing the full. Control it down. A lot of rib working here. A lot of shoulder. Zip up through the midline. Okay, here's your last one, and I'm gonna have you release on down. All right, slip on over there just to give you a little break. And I want you to come up into a side kneeling position. Now, if it doesn't feel good for you to be up on your knees, please, what I want you to do, I'm gonna have you do the same leg motion, but you're gonna be laying down here, okay? The reason I like these so much up here is if you can do them, is that you get a nice opening of that hip. We get a little bit more just opposition of the body, but there's nothing wrong with doing them on the ground. Okay, so we're gonna reach long through this leg, draw your toes towards you. We're gonna lower and then exhale, reach and lift. Control it on the way down. We're not releasing. We're working that eccentric motion on the way down. We're zipping up through our core. We wanna think about creating more space around our hips. That's why we get a lot of pain in the hips and the low back. We don't have enough space. Use that breath. Feel like your energy is going up through your body here and you're reaching down nice and long through that hip. Feeling this in the booty and the hip and not creeping up into the low back. Remember, use that exhale to initiate. Last 3 and 2. Here's your last one, opening up that chest and go ahead and have a seat on back. Give those hips a quick break and then we'll switch to the other side. So again, if you did the one just laying on the mat, I'm gonna recommend you do the same thing on this side. Wrap around this hip if you're up here with me. And one thing I didn't mention too much on the other side is really open up across the chest. We get so tight in our chest, we need to open it up. Okay, so reach for that heel. Notice my toes are towards me. A lot of times these are taught with a point, which is fine. I like them like this because we get more space through our hip. So inhale, control it down. Exhale, you're zipping up lightly, pelvic floor, lower belly, reach through that leg. Good. Controlling on the way down. You're working just as hard on that movement on the way down towards the ground as you are as you come up. Notice my ranges aren't crazy. Like if you can go a little higher, go for it. And just, if you start to feel it in that low back, you've gone too high. You gotta keep it in the hip. Good, keep opening up across that bottom arm and chest. Think about lightly connecting up from that midline. Okay, here's your last 2. And last one, and go ahead and release. Okay, we're almost there, ladies. Let's go ahead and go into some push-ups. So I'm gonna recommend, again, doing these modified initially, or you can always grab a chair and do them, which is great. Because again, if we're trying to do too advanced and we don't feel it in the right places, it's not really serving our body, okay? So I'll show them both. We'll start modified. And I want you to think about opening up across your chest, zipping up that belly, okay? I'd rather have your booty a little too high than too low, because then you're just going into your back, okay? So air on the side of up, make sure you're connected in that core. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, zip up that belly. Okay, wrap the ribs. Inhale, we're bringing our arms by our sides, so we're doing triceps here. Think of those back extensions we did. Draw those shoulders together. Exhale, and press up. Okay, so notice I don't have a ton of range, and that's okay. Lead with that chest. Exhale, zip, and press. Inhale to lower, and exhale. Nice long length through the body. Good, if you want to move into the full, move into the full. Fire those quads. Inhale to lower, and then press. Last one. And go ahead and just give yourself a little stretch back. And round on up, and we'll finish with some mermaid twists. Okay, so sitting opposite of me into a mermaid twist. Really sitting up tall. It's okay if this back hip isn't down, but we always want to feel opposition, bringing our back arm behind us, using our glutes to bring us up. Okay, so we're not just stretching, we're lengthening opposition through our fascial lines. Then you're gonna soften your back elbow as you let your hips drop and give yourself a little twist. Feel like you're exhaling, like wrapping those ribs. Inhale and open up. And just a reminder, we're never forcing any movement. We are encouraging, we are guiding, we are using our breath to help us. We are visualizing, but never force your body into a range that feels painful. Here's your last one over here. and lift, and come on down. And when you come on down, I really want you to pay attention that you don't just collapse. We want to really be tall along our spine and using our core to help us, not just our lower back. Okay, switch around to the other side. These are so good, by the way. My students love these. So good for opening up the hips. And when we sit a lot, our hips get really, really, really tight. Okay, so bringing this back arm back behind us, opening on up. Good. Then we're gonna do a little twist. Soften this back elbow. And inhale, open. Really open up across your chest. Good, exhale and twist. Again, you're using that breath to kind of wrap those ribs. Inhale and open. There's your last two. And lift. And last one. And lift. Now stay tall and stay lifted. And then lower on down. Okay, thank you all so much for joining me for today's Pilates workout.